Hello and welcome to the Trainers of the World Tournament. I am your host, DeltaTDS, and for this match, I'm joined by my co-host, Will. Say hi. Hey.
What up, everybody? Very
right.
excited for this match today.
Who do we have for today's matchup? For the first match?
Exciting first match. We've got Bruno versus Marshall. Two very, very strong teams. Just looking at it here, we have definitely some staples of their generation.
Right, so the battle format is a single battle 6v6. Each trainer gets one gimmick to use, in which case this battle, they are both using Mega Evolution, specifically Mega Lucario. So, let's get into it. They are currently organizing their teams right now.
Yeah, definitely an interesting first match to start off with. Both of these trainers, of course, members of Elite Four in their own region, and both specializing in fighting types.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting kind of a ditto here on the matchup, especially considering they're both using Mega Lucario. That's definitely going to be an important part of both of their strategies. Mega Lucario, of course, being quite a powerful Pokemon.
Though I do notice that Bruno's team is a bit more diverse, especially with that Fairy type, which is going to put a stake through Marshal's team.
Definitely true. Yeah, on one side, of course, we've got just mono fighting, but hopefully he's got some decent coverage there to hit the Mons on the other side. Of course, a lot of these, at least being dual types, as compared to over there on the other side.
Alright. Bruno sends out Poliwrath and Marshall leads off with Mienshao.
Poliwrath definitely a strong start here. Like I was just saying, a little bit more diverse on this side, with the Poliwrath being water fighting. It has more stab variety than Mienshao does.
Yeah. Goes for the fake out first turn just to get a little bit of chip damage in there. A little bit of a guaranteed hit.
Definitely solid play. Maybe, not something crazy yet, but classic opener. Can't go wrong with it, really.
No. And it's one of the safest out there. Unless they have what I think it's inner focus. That fast? One of them.
Something that'll block that flint big hit from the Poliwrath. Mienshao just barely surviving.
Yeah.
Ejected, very interesting item there. Poliwrath curing its status with the white herb, so superpower, pretty much no downsides there.
One of Mienshao's possible abilities is Regenerator, so it will come back in next time with a little bit more HP.
True. Even still, it is definitely not surviving a second superpower from Poliwrath. That is assuming it stays in that long.
Marshall sends out Throw to replace Mienshao. I wonder what he's going to do with that. Poliwrath goes for the Waterfall, but is hurt by Throw's Rocky Helmet into a Storm Throw and takes out that Poliwrath.
First KO of the match, going to Throw. Although, if we're looking at just health totals, it's probably about even right now.
Right. Now Mienshao doesn't have to worry about that superpower.
It's true, but there is definitely a lot more on this team to worry about besides just that.
Bruno sends out the Alolan Golem.
I want to see this thing explode.
Oh yeah, probably. Ooh, Earthquake brings it down to 2%.
And Earthquake right back. Not doing quite as much to Throw, but definitely hurting it. It is not going to 2-hit KO, even if it did outspeed I wonder what. Maybe, probably going to switch here. No.
Oh, stays in to take that storm throw. Better than it being put on Steelix or another
That's
Pokemon.
true. Alolan Golem getting sacked there. Out with the Machamp. Now, it is very likely here that Machamp outspeeds.
Very, yes. Throw is a very slow Pokemon.
But the question is, does Machamp? Absolutely it does. With the KO there, hit by the Rocky Helmet and taking some Life Orb damage.
That no
Got the
guard-
KO, but yep, took some return fire. Even though Throw did not get the attack back off. Mienshao back out with the Regenerator HP.
Probably gonna go for a fake out.
Definitely true. Good read to switch out to the Clefable there.
Wonder what Mienshao's next move is gonna be on this Clefable. Gonna predict a switch out or
It's a good question. Clefable, depending on its moveset, could be a pretty scary Pokemon into this team. Mienshao, you turning out, gonna get some more Regenerator HP back. What is it going to switch into, though, is a question.
I'd say, well, Steel resists Fairy, right? I know Steel's super effective against it, but I don't remember if it's...
Well, that would be the logical explanation there. I definitely agree with you. Yep, there comes the Lucario.
Ooh!
Oh my god,
Red
that's
with the
huge!
flamethrower! Wow!
Absolutely massive.
Marshal not
Like
even
I
gonna
said.
get a chance to use that Mega Lucario. Not even Mega
And-
Evolve it.
And that's, like I was saying earlier, Mega Lucario is definitely like a linchpin in both of these teams, so it's pretty scary that it's been taken out already.
Probably the only answer to Clefable is taken out of the match so early on.
Well, might be a little bit early to call it here. This Clefable, you know, it's definitely a threat, but it... Ooh, big
Ooh.
poison jab out of the sock.
Sturdy.
And it
keeps
survives
it-
with Sturdy.
With Sock out speeding, it most likely is going to take out the Clefable if it doesn't switch out.
It could. This, like a, you know, I've been saying this Clefable's a threat. You might want to keep it preserved. If it were me, I might predict a second poison jab. I might be switching into my own Lucario or Steelix here.
Ooh, goes into the Steelix.
Yep,
Ah.
immune to that poison jab. Good play there.
Now here's the thing. What's it going to do?
Now the thing here, you know, Steel is of course weak to fighting, and it is almost guaranteed that Salk is faster here. Switches out to the Conch Elder. Steelix setting up the Stealth Rock.
Oh. I mean, that any chip damage is good damage. So Conkeldurr is holding a Flame Orb to activate its Guts ability.
Big Guts hits about to be coming out of this Conch Elder. Stealth Rock is definitely one advantage that Bruno has over Marshal. I don't think there are any Mons on Marshal's team that can set up those rocks.
Conkeldurr going for the Bulk Up to boost its attack even further, as well as making it a little bit bulkier to withstand Steelix's Earthquake.
Ooh, big Earthquake, not quite enough. Resisted on the Rock Slide. This is scary right now
Yeah.
for Bruno.
If Bruno doesn't have a way to take this thing out quick, it might just be over.
This is true. I mean, Clefable is, of course, a special attacker, so the defense boost not doing much there in terms of that. But the question is now, does Clefable, outspeed? Can it kill it in one down from 50%? Remains to be seen. does it even go into Clefable?
I mean, going into it right now would be the safest. There you go. The Fable is sent out.
Now, max speed Clefable, just checking the stats here, 228 compared to Conkeldur's 201.
It would be
So-
faster.
Could be faster. And I'm going to say that it very likely is, but again, the question being, can it kill Conkeldur?
Ooh.
There it goes. Big threat
Takes
down.
out-
It is now 3-3.
Takes out the biggest threat so far.
And Bruno still has that Mega Lucario sitting in back. And Sock dead to the rocks.
Ooh. I was just about to say this is a pretty even match. I mean, it's still kind of even. They both have a Machamp.
True. Also, Manchao, a very fast Pokemon. Manchao comes out. It definitely outspeeds the Clefable, but that's
Oh,
assuming that
wow.
it doesn't switch.
It has over half of its HP back. Goes into the heart.
Big acrobatics hit.
Wow. Oh yeah, because it used its eject button like early on.
It's true. It does not have an item anymore. Extreme speed, not quite
Ooh.
killing. Mega Lucario down on both teams. It's 2-2, and they both have pretty much a full health Machamp and then a very low health second Pokemon. Bullet Punch coming out. Manchao is down.
It's Machamp versus Machamp.
Which Machamp's coming out on top?
A little Discord notification, but that's fine.
Beep boop. Ooh, Dynamic Punch and the confusion hits through it. This is a close match. If this Machamp has Bullet Punch, it's all over. But that's assuming it doesn't hit itself. Oof, Moonblast. Taken out the Machamp. Bruno wins game 1.
Now, that was a pretty close matchup, but there are many ways that could have gone.
That could have gone 100 different ways.
I-
I wondered if Marshal's Machamp, in fact, did not have Bullet Punch.
I mean, we could certainly check the records in
Certainly
Discord.
could. Definitely. Looking at the Machamp, Dynamic Punch, Stone Edge, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch. Really good coverage on that Machamp. Unfortunately, no priority.
I don't know what Marshall's thinking. Guess he's taking out that flying type weakness.
That's true. I mean, I think in a lot of other situations, that's a very strong set. It's just he didn't have the one move that he needed in this specific game.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe Marshall will actually get to use his Mega Lucario this time. Alright, we are back with match 2 of round 1. Marshall versus Bruno. Bruno did take that first match. Oh, did he?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
Bruno up 1-0 right now. But it was, of course, a very, very close match. And it's all up to the adaptation in Game 2 right now. We have a little bit better idea of what kind of sets that these Pokemon have. Of course, lack of priority on this Machamp right here being the downfall of Marshall in Game 1.
But that Machamp right now is most likely faster than that Steelix.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Big Dynamic Punch, not quite taking it out. Does get the confusion. Again, the confusion 2 for 2 on the Dynamic Punches across these games.
Well, I believe
And
Dynamic Punch has 100% chance to confuse, right?
I'm not familiar enough with the move to say one way or the other, to be honest with you.
I think it is.
But either way,
But I'm not a Pokemon expert, so I wouldn't know.
it is one thing.
We're just hosting a tournament.
But Steelix getting taken out by a second Dynamic Punch.
We just got
Machamp.
word from Bruno that it is indeed 100% chance to confuse.
Bruno, of course, the fighting type expert, would definitely know a lot better than we would.
Yes.
Clefable comes out to face down this Machamp. Now, we saw last game that this is a pretty fast Clefable.
And very lethal, especially to that Lucario. So
Very much
certainly Marshal's not going to make the same mistake here. Unless it's calling Bruno's bluff. Ooh.
Stone Edge doing about half. Machamp can live another flamethrower. But will... No. Moonblast.
Moonblast takes out Machamp.
Out comes Lucario. Hopefully we actually get to see it do something this time. Max speed 291 will outspeed this Clefable.
Lucario will most likely Mega Evolve unless Marshal's got another plan up his sleeve. Making it
There's
even
really
faster.
not a whole lot of reasons not to.
Yeah, true.
Poliwrath coming out. SDing up.
Ooh, we might see
That
it.
was a massive, massive play from Marshall, reading the Clefable going out, instead of just hitting that flamethrower again.
Yeah.
CC
Lucario-
absolutely demolishing this Poliwrath.
Lucario just taking out that Poliwrath for the lower defenses. Just a couple turns, it's gonna be one hell of a class game. Any curse on here?
Alolan Golem coming out. One of this Pokemon's abilities is Sturdy. This thing is definitely not outspeeding, but it very well might survive one hit. What it does in response is the question.
If Golem goes for an Earthquake, it could easily take out that Lucario.
Very possible. Almost guaranteed to have the Earthquake as well. Lucario switching out into the throw. Earthquake does come out. Not a whole lot of damage to the throw.
Lucario, of course, having to give up those stat boosts, but just
Does hurt a little bit, but it does live to fight another day. Probably for the best.
Yeah.
Earthquake in return,
Once again, leaving Golem down to 2%, only for.
but taken
Rock-
out by the Rocky. Clefable back out.
I think we've seen this standoff last match.
And it did not end well for Marshal's Lucario, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
Surviving the flamethrower. Burn not enough to reduce its attack down to a point where it does not KO with the Stone Edge.
With that Clefable threat out of the way, it's. I don't want to call it too early, but it's looking like it's on Marshal's side.
Well, we do have Mega Lucario out for Bruno here. And Throw is going to be dying to this burn if it stays in. It will get an attack off, of course, but... I mean,
If it outspeeds.
if it outspeed, which it likely won't, but my idea is, yep, extreme speed coming out. Maybe Lucario could have set up their very risky play, but could have paid off. Does just go for the safe play, extreme speeds it down.
From what it looks like, it seems both Mega Lucarios are physical attackers.
Very likely, definitely a strong set. Mienshao out. Now this thing is absolutely fresh, has not been touched.
It could go for the fake out. Ooh,
Ooh, Meteor Mash,
no
just
fake out.
one-shotting it.
That is crazy. Lucario trusting that Meteor Mash, and it's 90% accuracy. I believe, right? I think it's 90 power accuracy.
Conch Elder back out. Now we have seen that this thing is Guts Flame Orb.
Could be.
Second Meteor Mash.
Ooh. Does more than half, but still able to take out that Lucario.
Now it's down to this Machamp to go in 1v3.
Now, is that speed gonna make it slower than Machamp?
Well, we do know that this Machamp in particular does have some priority. It is
does.
slower, it does hit the dynamic punch.
judging from it, it does have no guard. Could this Machamp possibly bring this fight back for Bruno? And could Bruno take the first 2-0 lead in the tournament?
Sock coming out. Now this thing definitely also could have Sturdy.
I believe it does from the last match.
Might be right.
Very interested to see what both trainers do in this battle.
Close combat, not enough to kill. A resisted Stone Edge. Now, the unfortunate thing is that we know that Sock outspeeds.
Oh!
Ooh, bullet punch enough to take it out. And Machamp left on 1%. Now, the best that we can do here is tie. And
bullet punch. So now Marshall has taken the second match, going into our third match of the tournament, which is insane.
Definitely an interesting outcome there. Marshall learning from that first game, not letting his Mega Lucario just get taken out, kind of like a chump, to be honest, like he did in that first game. That Lucario puts in work when it survives.
Let me tell you, with how close this match is just between two fighting type trainers, makes you wonder how some of the future matches are going to be, like Kukui and Archie. We've got
definitely
Green and Honey next.
Yeah, we've definitely got some good matches today, and this is, for our first set, it's pretty exciting. I know I've said the word exciting a lot tonight, but I don't. There's not a lot of other words that I feel like describe it very well.
All right, and I believe they are ready for the third and final match. Oh, there we go. Marshall leading off with Mienshao and Green leading off with Clefable. My monitor is glitching the heck out. Hopefully it'll survive this match.
That'd be preferable. Mienshao hitting with the fake out. Again, super safe play here. Can't really go wrong with it.
Actually, if you could take over commentating real quick, I'm gonna try and fix this real quick. I don't want it to go out.
Thing. U-turn out of the Mienshao. Not very effective, not doing a lot of damage, but of course, U-turn not known for its damage output. Mienshao will be switching over here. If I had to take a guess, maybe the Conch Elder. Throw is the decision here. Super effective Moonblast, not quite taking it down to Sturdy, but does take it down to 8% regardless. This throw is in one-shot range, and not likely to outspeed the Clefable.
Alright, we are back.
Welcome back.
What did I miss?
Mienshao U-turns out into Throw taking a huge Moonblast to the dome.
Wow.
Throw not going to survive another one of those.
But it is impressive it did survive one.
It is, of course, Throw did have the Sturdy there. Predicts the setup there out of Clefable, Stone Edges it down for another 36%.
Calm Mind is going to be very dangerous for some other Pokemon.
It's true, of course, all of the Pokemon on Marshal's team being physical attackers don't mind that special attack boost, or a special defense boost rather. Special attack could be scary, but the bullet punch does take care of it.
Ooh, sending out his own Lucario, so we'll have a Mega Lucario versus Mega Lucario standoff.
Now, if you're Marshall, and you already have your Mega out, what are you doing here?
Going for the close combat and takes out Green's Lucario. Or, not Green, Bruno's Lucario.
Bruno in a similar situation to Marshall was in Game 1, where his Mega Lucario really doesn't get to do anything, just one shot before it can take a turn. Now this Lucario is looking scary. Steelix coming out. Also, really unlikely that it's going to be able to take a close combat, I feel.
I mean, that defense stat is really high. That's
It is.
Some of the highest.
But you can't discount Mega Lucario's attack either.
You're right about that. Still switches out to Conkeldurr.
Earthquake, definitely a strong attack. Very likely that it could have taken out that Mega Lucario, but Conkeldurr tanks it like a champ, setting up the Guts boost with the Flame Orb.
Already looking to be a good game 3.
Very much so. Marshall up by 1 Pokemon right now. And his Lucario remains intact. Super effective Earthquake in return. Iron Tail taken down Conkeldurr's defense.
Both Pokemon are brought down to the yellow as Conkeldurr suffers that burn for extra attack.
Bruno stacking his Steelix, and Conkeldurr not in a good spot either. Down 60% with the burn on it, will die in 2 turns here.
Bruno sends out his own Machamp with Bullet Punch to take it off.
We have seen the Bullet Punch out of that Machamp before. Knew that was coming. But that Conkeldurr really did probably put his fair share of work in. Not a bad play to just sack it there.
Marshall sending out the Mienshao against Machamp. Wonder if it's gonna go for a fake out this time.
Now, the last time that... Yeah, I was going to say the last time that we sent this Mienshao out, it actually switched up, did not go for fake out turn 1. Does go for it this time. And the Acrobatics. Now, I believe this thing still has its eject button, so Acrobatics not doing too much there, dies to a Dynamic Punch.
It didn't survive long, but it still got a decent amount of damage off.
It did 3-3 now, but the difference here being this Machamp is getting pretty low, and once again, Marshall still does have his Mega Lucario.
Going for the Bullet Punch to get a last bit of damage off before falling to Sock.
Bruno down to his Poliwrath and a Alolan Golem.
Now, Sock has taken damage, so that Sturdy isn't keeping Poliwrath from taking it out.
This is true. Close combat, Sock being faster, gets the defense drop though, superpower. Just taking that thing out, White Herb, preventing the stat drop.
Once again, it's 2-2. I think it's going to go down to the last Pokemon yet again. 3rd match in a row.
I think it definitely could. Although this Mega Lucario pretty much comes out for free here. Very, very fast Pokemon.
Yes.
100% outspeeds his Poliwrath.
Wouldn't be smart to set up on this thing, as he does have superpower.
Does that superpower very, very strong. Golem coming out with the Sturdy, close combat, taking it down to 1%. But
Going for
it
Earthquake.
does get hip Earthquake.
Once
down
again, we are down to 1v1.
And once again, we do know that this Machamp does not have any priority. It is 217 speed at its maximum, though, compared to 196 on the Golem.
Uses Dynamic Punch, and it takes out Golem. That makes Unova Elite 4 Marshall the first trainer to move on to round 2, leading a 2-1 victory against Bruno.
Taking the 2nd and 3rd games, Marshall definitely learning from his mistakes of the first game, not really leaving many opening for Bruno to take any more leads after that first loss.
It is insane that we got 3 matches that came down to the final Pokemon on both teams. And if that's it to say anything, I think this tournament's going to go great.
Fantastic first round there. Marshall versus Bruno.
Our next match will be Pokemon Trainer Green versus the Dojo Matron Honey, which will be uploaded tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching this match, and we will see you in the next battle. Take care.